suspect, really. So in 1950, they actually start wiretapping his phone for about a month. And he is recorded saying this, and it's pretty incriminating. So I'm going to read it just like he said it. Supposing I did kill the Black Dahlia. They couldn't prove it now. They can't talk to my secretary anymore because she's dead. They thought there was something fishy. Anyway, now they may have figured it out. Killed her. Maybe I did kill my secretary. So that was
so
pretty incriminating. You would think that all of this would kind of seal a deal for old George.
Mm-hmm.
He never was actually captured. He was never, I shouldn't say captured, he was never charged. He was never arrested on anything. He ended up dying later on. But his son, Steve Hodel, who is actually an investigator, a police detective in LAPD, same precinct as all of this, is part of the Root of Evil podcast, and his so many fascinating details that he's uncovered later on. So he has actually found receipts in his father's things for 50-pound bags of cement and fertilizer. And they were dated around the same time as the Black Dahlia murders. So remember, we have bags of cement, bags of fertilizer that were used to transport the body parts after they had been drained of blood to the scene. So that could possibly tie it together. He also has another theory. So the feces that also contained in her stomach, there were green granules of some unknown substance. So he believes that the fertilizer, the specific brand of fertilizer that his dad purchased on that day, contains steer manure, and it also has green granules in that fertilizer. So he believes that the feces that she was forced to eat was actually, or that was found in her stomach, was actually the fertilizer that was from those bags. So pretty hard to argue with. It's crazy that there's such a connection there.
It's kind of sad that his son put him on blast like that.
His son is definitely believes that his father is a murderer. So he has since published a book called Black Dahlia Avenger, A Genius for Murder. He does believe that his father committed this murder, but he believes that this isn't his only murder that he has committed. He also runs a website where he updates with latest discoveries he has made. He is 77 years old right now. He said he wanted to retire at the age of 41, and now he's hoping that maybe by 81 he can retire. But he is basically dedicating all of his time, energy, money into investigating this case more and more. Like I said, the LAPD has complete jurisdiction of this.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want pretty much anything to do with this. They don't take him seriously. They don't want to even worry about this case anymore. He has offered to provide his DNA, because with one DNA swab, the whole thing could be fixed. It could be proved or disproved, done. It could be done completely. And they have yet to do that. And so he has, he was quoted in the Root of Evil podcast saying something to the effect of, hopefully before he dies, that will happen. But he's not looking like, he said it doesn't look like it will. But I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if there was that much corruption at the time that they don't want to uncover it, or they just flat out don't care anymore. Somebody was quoted as saying something to the effect of, I'm totally paraphrasing on these because I did not write them down exactly, but something to the effect of saying that they're not worried about this case anymore because he's too busy focusing on active cases and open cases, which I understand the LAPD has enough to deal with, but this does not seem like nowadays it would take a whole lot if you swabbed a guy's mouth and and ransom DNA. It doesn't seem like it would be a huge taxing task. So here's a picture of George. That's what he looked like. Steve Hodel actually has some other theories that his dad went on to commit murders even into the 60s and 70s and was kind of a really prolific serial killer. So who knows if that's the case, but definitely he was not a good guy. In the Root of Evil podcast, it does talk about how there was a lot of incest, there was a lot of orgies going on during that time. He did a lot of things with his daughter, who then went on to basically commit incest with her children. And so it was just a really, really fascinating look at a very, very dark story, but it was done in such a great way. But I don't know, what do you think? What are your theories here?
Yeah, I think it was him.
I saved the best for last, didn't I?
Yeah, everything just kind of. I don't know about like all the, because he didn't have the surgical stuff. Like
he did though.
He did?
Yeah, he did. He did go to surgical school. He was an actual doctor.
Uh-huh.
Yes, he did. So he could have performed the surgeries very easily.
Yeah, I think it was him. I really do.
Yeah. Yep. I guess we will never know unless they decide to go back and do the DNA, but with the things that his son is uncovering, it just seems like more and more is coming out that possibly this is the guy. So I would be really, really interested to hear what you guys think about the Black Dahlia. Why was the body placed the way it was? What was the reason behind the mutilation? Was it complete sadism, or was there a purpose behind that? Was it the other thing that stood out to me was this man really didn't have George. Speaking of George, as I said, he hated his mother. He didn't have a whole lot of respect for women. I mean, the orgies that he was having with people, the way his own daughter was treated, there wasn't a whole lot of respect toward women. Yep. And I don't know if that would have translated into mutilation. I mean, just because you're a gross guy and you are committing incest or sexual deviations, it does not make you a murderer.
Yeah.
But it's just one step closer, I guess. Or just because you hate your mother doesn't make you a murderer.
Yep.
Just all of those things kind of tie together to make me think that maybe there's something to that. So.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Very.
Yeah. This was a biggie.
This was a biggie.
I kind of vowed to never do such a big case right as I started until I kind of knew what I was doing a little more. But just kind of dove in.
Yeah.
So all of my sources, I'm going to list those in the show notes. And as always, go on, like and subscribe, rate us, and please give us a 5-star rating. That does help. And we just are so grateful that you are sticking with us, that we are getting more listens by the day, more downloads, even more ratings. So thank you so much for that. I did have one rating that I wanted to read from. This one was from February 22nd, and it's titled Fun New Podcast. It says, I know you are new at this, but this is such an interesting and fun delivery of the cases. I can't wait for more. So thank you to LG $2021 for that fun review. And please review us and give us a 5-star review. So thank you.
Can we give a little hint? What's to come?
I don't know. You have any ideas? I've gotten so many ideas.
Yeah, I'm thinking we do a thing on the Cecil Hotel. But
you think the Cecil Hotel?
I'm thinking that we do.
Okay, well, that could be it. I'm going to leave it a cliffhanger. I don't know. We'll see what we do next. But if you have any suggestions, please hit us up. We have an Instagram page at the Sinister Story Hour. We also have a Gmail, sinisterstoryhour@gmail.com. So please communicate with us. We will write back to you, each and every person. We would love to get back to you. So definitely get in touch with us. Any of your own personal spooky stories, I would love to hear that. Anything paranormal, anything creepy to do with true crime, whatever you got, I would love to hear that. We would definitely read that on a future show. And any ideas for shows coming up, I definitely have received quite a few of those already. And I've got kind of a list going of future show ideas. So if you have a show idea, keep them coming. So we appreciate each and every one of you for listening, and thank you guys, and keep it up. Good night.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for coming and joining me tonight.
Yep.
Thank you for listening, everybody. We will see you next time on Sinister Story Hour.